Shabbat shalom, brothers and sisters. Man, I hope everybody is having a blessed day of rest. Man, I wanted to just briefly talk about the truth about 4th of July, Independence Day, because, man, you've got a lot of descendants of Yashriel that really don't know the truth, and they've fallen for everything that the heathens have given us. Man, biblically, man, Yashriel has appointed times, and we see in this world today that the heathens have their appointed times. But, I'll answer the question, did slaves in America celebrate the 4th of July? And you may ask, like, why am I asking that question, or how does that question pertain to today? And I'll break it down to you. Enslaved people did not generally celebrate the 4th of July. Instead of a day of liberation, it was a bitter reminder of their subjugation. For those denied freedom, witnessing white Americans celebrate independence felt like an agonizing mockery of the nation's professed ideals of liberty and equality. Okay? So, man, we look at the history of 4th of July because, man, you've got brothers and sisters out there ignorantly partaking in something that the heathens are making a whole bunch of money off of. They make all of their appointed times are rooted in selling you something, whether it be the birthday of Nimrod, i.e. Christmas, whether it be Valentine's Day, whether it be Mother's Day, whether it be Father, all of their appointed times is rooted in selling you something. Never once have they had your soul salvation in mind. So today's goal, and they're making you got people, those that's not walking into it, man, they got them baby back ribs on the grill, barbecued up, probably got a pot of, pig booty hole lining chitlins, then bought all the fireworks. But I tell you, man, you can really, if you follow the Torah and reject the heathen's appointed time, that right there will lead to some financial prosperity. But here's the history of it. Independence Day, or the 4th of July, commemorates the day in 1776 when the Second Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence. This historic document announced that the 13 American colonies' separation from Great Britain. It was drafted by Thomas Jefferson and established in the United States of America. The push for independence actually began 2 days prior on 2 July 1776 when Congress voted in favor of Virginian Richard Henry Lee's motion for separation from the British Crown. However, it was the formal adoption of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th that was recorded in the history books and celebrated as America's birthday. Here we go again with the birthdays. Okay. So here's where I want you to remember 1776. Were slaves celebrating this? Were your ancestors, were your great grandparents celebrating this? Was they out barbecuing and say, yeah, independence? Or was what I'm about to read pertaining to them? Slavery in America was abolished in stages between 1863 and 1865. Think about that. So this is while they were celebrating, popping fireworks about independence from Britain. This wasn't independence for you. This wasn't independence for your family, for your brothers and sisters. This wasn't independence for Yashriel. No, this is a heathen appointed time. So you got 1776, 1863. You got almost 100 years that they said, you know what, we're going to celebrate this for us, but it don't pertain to them. That's really, when you think about these historical documents, Declaration of Independence, all of these, the law, all of this stuff, it was not written with you in mind. It was, if it was written with you in mind, it was written to keep you at the bottom, to keep you enslaved. This stuff wasn't written for you to be free. Why do you think today we get the worst end of the justice, so-called justice system? And y'all better wake up out here, because here's the reality. Man, you're going to catch it the most from your children. Your children, they're going to be like, how come we can't pop these fireworks and do this? Man, I tell you, parents, if you're struggling with this, hey, man, you can get you some fireworks, set them aside, and pop off on these feast days. Have these heathens, have these other people that don't even know they're descendants of Yashriel wondering, man, why they over there popping out fireworks? It's a biblical feast day, and we over here getting down. I tell you, man, it's just crazy because these heathens never think about obedience to the Most High Yah. Today is the Shabbat. It's the seventh day of rest, and it ain't gonna cross these folk minds not once. They'll go into their Sunday sun worship, places of worship tomorrow, and their pork chop eating pulpit pimp is gonna sit up there and say, I hope everybody had a good 4th of July. Popped off fireworks, ate some good food. He gonna tickle their ears, get some money up off them, and be up out of there. But for this, once in your lifetime, are you getting some truth? I'm here today to tell you the sad reality. When you don't stand for anything of truth, you fall for everything that's of lies and deceit and deception. Now, here's the thing. I've seen a lot of different marches and things like that, and we want to boycott, and we want to ban and not buy from Target and all this stuff, and it don't never amount to nothing. But let me tell you something. Stop participating in they heathen appointed times and see don't they get a message. But the problem is we can't get enough people on board to do it. And when you think about it, for those that actually keep the appointed times of the Most High Yah and walk in his righteousness, keep his commandments, man, that's why only a remnant, will be saved. You got to think, man, the word says they that say they know him, which we live in America in a Christian society, Christian in Catholic society that says that they know him. Meanwhile, majority of these people don't keep his commandments. And if they do, think they keep or deceive themselves into keeping their commandments, man, they're keeping them from a New Testament, Brit Harashah, perspective. Man, the word says, man, they that say they know him and keep not his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him. And these folk out here celebrating this stuff. I tell you, man, educate your family, educate your household. Man, I still have to, as a father, I'm perfectly fine with being the bad guy if I'm the example and good guy that's safeguarding your salvation in the home. But I'm perfectly fine with when my family goes out, tell my wife, if you bought them fireworks, take them firework back, or we saving them for a few days. We ain't popping them off today. I'm perfectly fine being the bad guy and delivering the news that don't nobody want to hear, because majority, you got to think about it. Man, the goal is eternal life. The goal is salvation. And a lot of people that think that they have a relationship with the Most High Yah and don't keep his commandments, man, they're only on this earth for a good time. They're not on this earth for a long time. So the reminder is, man, to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. But in some of this stuff, I wanted to bring out the truth, because you've got people that they've grown up into this, and your family, especially Black families, have made this a tradition. We get together as a family, we barbecue every 4th of July, and we get together and we do this. What about the kids? Well, what about the children learning how to walk in the ways? What about the children learning the actual appointed times that the Most High set forth for us as a set apart nation? But you become the bearer of bad news when you speak like this. You'll be the outcast in your family for speaking like this. Oh man, here you go again with that Bible stuff. Here you go, man. We just want to sit around and drink and barbecue and pop these fireworks off, spending out. Like, you think about the Most High Yah's appointed time, they're not costly. They're not costly. If you're living according to the book, the Most High Yah's appointed time are not costly. Almost every one of these heathen appointed times, man, it's got a hefty price tag to it. Hefty price tag to it. And this is one of many. Man, okay, let's be honest. Brothers out there that's got children, sisters out there that's got children. Man, being raised by my grandparents, they wouldn't go get a whole bunch of fireworks. They get you a box of them pop rocks and you throw them and pop them on the ground, and that was your fireworks. But they wasn't spending no $150, $200 on those fireworks. Brothers, how many of y'all, if y'all back when y'all was celebrating this, got y'all children in pop rocks, How long did it take before they was like, man, we want some bigger stuff? Can we get the bigger stuff? So you, especially if you in states where, you know, they got these stands and they pop up once a year, you got people spending big money on this stuff, but yet they'll turn around and say, man, the economy is bad, man, we struggling. Man, y'all better leave these heathens appointed times alone. They'll keep you broke. Man, I didn't really find out about a lot of this history until I was a recruiter in Charleston, South Carolina. And for those that don't know, a lot of the slave ships, majority of the slaves in the United States of America came through Charleston, South Carolina. Between 1670 and 1808, whoo, so they were celebrating independence, July 4th in 1776, but between 1670 and 1808, an estimated 40% of all enslaved Africans brought to North America arrived in Charleston, South Carolina. Captives were forced off ships into ports like Sullivan's Island, where they were quarantined, and Gassendorf before being sold at local markets like the old slave mart. Man, these heathens had no problem with, you know, doing their own little partying, but had no problem selling your hind part as you got off that boat. I tell you, man, y'all better wake up. You better stand for truth, because in the last days, man, I'm making this content to wake people up. And you got some people that will listen to this and disregard it because they don't search out the truth in anything. They don't search out the truth in nothing. They falling for everything and wondering why they're being spiritually attacked the way they are. Just because you say you love the Most High don't mean you're set apart. Most High y'all called for us to be a set apart people. And that is set apart in conduct, set apart in behavior, set apart in righteousness. This is why they've done so much to try to change the Most High's appointed time and discredit it, say you ain't got to do that and you ain't got to do this. All you got to do is, you know, keep our Christmas, our Father's Day, our Mother's Day, our Valentine's Day, our Halloween, our Easter, and the Easter bunny and little eggs with candy in it. Like, I'm telling y'all, better leave this stuff alone. Especially if you out here struggling financially. Like the money that you would have spent on this, I can tell you, going forward, put that to the side and see what you got at the end of the year out of all these heathens appointed time versus looking at the Most High Yah's appointed time. And you can take some of the stuff that you already have outside of like the Feast of Unleavened Bread, where you got to clean your house and get rid of the leaven, throw the stuff away. But you can stop buying stuff with leaven at a certain point and be ready for that. But it's gonna cost you nowhere what it would cost you to participate in these heathens appointed times that were never meant for us. We break it down. 4th of July, this is the raw truth, the raw history, raw gun barrel straight. Once again, this is close to the Y'all Ministries, kicking that thing gun barrel straight. Bow.